Hi, welcome to tutorial 2.6 part 1 on writing molecular formulas. Let's jump right in and look at the first example. What's the molecular formula for the structure shown? So it looks like these questions are about showing you a structure, a two-dimensional structure, and from there you're supposed to figure out what the molecular formula is, that is what kind of atoms are in this particular molecule and how many written as subscripts. So pretty straightforward here. We just count the number of carbons. I see 4 of them. So we just write down the 4 as a subscript. After that, let's count the hydrogens. We can count them all up, and it looks like there's 10 of them. Let's count them pretty slowly though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the caps at the end are 9, 10. Those are the 10 hydrogens, and that's the convention. The order that we write them in is first the carbons, then the hydrogens. And after that, we're going to say the oxygen, and we can see there's just one of them. So our formula is C4H10O, written in that order. Let's try another one. This one here is also a two-dimensional structure, but they're showing you a little bit more. It's not just all sitting in a line, a little more of the structure, but other than that, it's the same kind of thing. So counting the carbons, looks like we have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we count the number of hydrogens, and what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, 6, 7, 8. That's why we put a subscript as an 8. And then the oxygen at the end. So it's C4H8O for the formula. All right, so these were straightforward because you see all the parts. There's some shorthand ways of writing these things, though, that make it a little bit more difficult to see. Here, for example, is a part of a shorthand version of writing a structural formula. How are you supposed to interpret this? Where you see this vertex, that is, where you see these two lines that are joining, there's an implied carbon sitting there, although it's not explicitly shown. So you're supposed to recognize that there's a carbon here. And again, here where these 3 lines meet at that vertex, there's another carbon. The other carbons are shown. Sometimes they will be shown and sometimes they will not be. And we'll look at some examples of where they're not shown. But for now, let's see if we can get the number of carbons figured out. And then we're going to talk about the hydrogens. So first of all, the carbons. 1, 2, this vertex, 3, 4, 5 total carbons. So we put C5. The next question is, how do I manage these hydrogens? Well, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 so far, but what about around these carbons that are not shown explicitly? Every carbon will have 4 bonds to it. So if you see a carbon and you do not see 4 bonds, there's an implied hydrogen attached to that carbon. So let's look at this one. This carbon has 2 because there's only 2 bonds shown so far. There's 2 more that are not shown. Those are hydrogens. This carbon has 3 bonds, so therefore there's 1 hydrogen that's not shown. So let's count them all up now. The original 9 that we had plus 1 from here is 10, plus 2 more here gives us 12. So the formula is C5H12. Well, that was a little bit trickier because you had to kind of look at these where these lines were meeting. You had to recognize that there was a vertex there that gave you a carbon. And then remember 4 bonds for every carbon. So you have to add the implicit, that is the hydrogens that are not directly shown. All right, so let's do one more. And then let's have a look at a couple things on another website. So here, this is a little more complicated looking. You think, oh, I don't know what's going on here. Same kind of thing. Let's find the carbons first. So let's trick down and see it. So there's 5 of them. Let's see how we found them. There's a vertex here. That is, there's things meeting here. So there's got to be a carbon here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice the other places where the lines meet are not carbons, but those are nitrogens. So I found 5 carbons. Now let's have a look at the hydrogens. All right, so we came up with 5 here. Let's see how we did that. There are 3 bonds from this carbon. 1, 2, 3. So there's 1 missing. So there's 1 hydrogen here. This is a nitrogen, so there's nothing here to show. So far we have 1 hydrogen. A second hydrogen from this source. Now let's look at this one. I see 4 bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's no hydrogen missing here or here. Again, that's nitrogen. That's where that's being bonded here. There's a carbon here. There is a hydrogen missing here. So there's another hydrogen missing over here, and then nothing here because there's 4 bonds. So let's see if we can count them all up and keep track. 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed one. Where did I get it? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, I caught them. It was a little sloppy, but hopefully you kind of follow that. Okay, so that's decent. I hope you kind of see it. So the procedure is the same. Every time you see two lines join, well, that's a carbon. And at the beginning of a line, if there's nothing sitting there, that's also supposed to be a carbon. So we need to look at a few more of those. I have 4 more examples that I kind of put up. Let's have a look at these. What if you had a structural formula that looked like this thing over here? How would you come up with the number of carbons? Well, let's count them. The end of the line is assumed to be a carbon. So we have 1 carbon, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we have 5 carbons so far. Okay, so that's C5. I'm going to write that down on a cheat sheet on the side so I don't lose track of what I'm doing over here. Where am I? C5. All right, so C5. Now let's count the hydrogens. All right, so the hydrogens here at this, where's my cursor here? How many hydrogens are here? Well, there's only 1 bond shown, so therefore there must be 3 hydrogens there. So 1, 2, 3. 1 is missing here, that's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the formula for this would be C5H12. Now if I click on the side here, you'll see the explicit carbons and hydrogens, so you can tell kind of what's going on here. So this is what they would look like. It's a little dizzying. It's hard to see the structure with all these, but let's make sure we did it right. We said C5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they are. And the hydrogens were 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's what this molecule looks like, and the form in which you have to recognize it is this. There's a way of rendering this as a 3D molecule. Let's see if I can do that. Looks like it's not going to let me render that. In any case, we can just move on to the next example. All right, so that was 1 compound. That was C5H12. Let's look at another one. Let's look at this one here. So to do the same kind of thing, let's count the carbons. I see 1, 2, 3 carbons so far. All right, so that is 3 carbons. I wrote that down on the side on my cheat sheet. Hydrogens, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have C3H8 and then a single oxygen. So C3H8O is what I get for that one. Let's look at the structure here with the explicit carbons and hydrogens shown. See if that's right. Yeah, there's 3 C's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hydrogens and a single oxygen. All right, so there's 2. Let's go to another example. Let's look at this one. So let's count the carbons again. Now this one has a 3D structure. I'm not sure why the other ones weren't loading, but let's look at this one here first. Carbons, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, and we can kind of confirm that here with a 3D structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. How many hydrogens do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 hydrogens and then 2 chlorines. So the final molecule will be C5H10 and then Cl2. Again, if we click on the side here, we can see everything explicit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the carbons that we had, and then we came up with 10 hydrogens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and finally the 2 chlorines. All right, one last one. One of these kind of ring structures, so that we kind of are comfortable with those. Let's look at this one here. And this one here is the same kind of thing that we saw at the end of the previous slide. So let's just look for the carbons first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here in this 3D view, you can kind of see them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many hydrogens do we have? Well, there's 1 missing here, so there's 1. Nothing missing here. 2, 3. Nothing missing, nothing missing, nothing missing. 4, 5. So it looks like we have 5 hydrogens. And finally, the last thing is the nitrogens. Well, you can just see those. They're nice and blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, you click on the 2D to 3D, you can see it more clearly. And you can, well, are they going to let us see that? Here it is. So now the carbons that were not shown explicitly, you can see now, and you can count the hydrogens. All right, so that's it. Let's see if this kind of works out for you. I know it's probably a little bit confusing. And what I'm doing this when I'm pushing my cursor here and saying 1, 2, what I'm always doing is the same thing, counting the number of lines off that carbon and filling in what's missing. Like for right here, I say, okay, I see 3 lines coming off of that vertex. There's 1 missing, so there's 1 hydrogen. That's the idea. We'll have a look at it again in class if this is still confusing. Good luck with that. Thanks.